How to use your Nintendo Switch. Let's go over how the Nintendo Switch works. Let's first turn it on by pressing and holding the power button on the top left corner of the console for a few seconds. It wants us to press the A button to start. Then it wants us to press the same button 3 times to proceed. I'll press the A button 3 more times. This takes us to the home menu. Here you will see all of your games. The first game, Driven to Win, is a game that we purchased on a game card and inserted earlier into the game card slot on the top of the Switch console. All of the other games have been downloaded. I can use the right stick to navigate through all of the games. Then we get to some blank spots for adding more games. If I want to play a game like Mario Kart, I can navigate to it and then press the A button. Then I'll select a user by tapping A again. This launches the game and we can play it. To exit the game, I can press the home button to navigate back to the home menu. You'll notice that on the Mario Kart game icon, we see the word playing. That game is still running if we want to quickly get back to playing it, but instead, I'll close the game by pressing the X button. Then I'll confirm that I want to close it by pressing the A button. On the top left-hand side of the screen, you'll see my user icon. If I tap it, I can see information about my profile, friends, account information, and user settings, amongst other things. I'll press the B button to go back home. On the upper right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the time, Wi-Fi strength, and battery strength indicators. Let's double tap on the first menu item. It will bring us to the Nintendo Switch Online page after I tap my user icon. If you have an account, my Switch came with a 3-month membership. It allows you to play classic Nintendo games. It also features online play, so you can play with friends over the internet. In fact, there's a smartphone app that you can download from the App Store called Nintendo Switch, which I've already downloaded, so I'll tap Open. Then Next. Then Allow. Then Sign In. And Continue. If I sign into my Nintendo account and link it, then tap Next, Start, and Allow, I can get to a screen where I can start a voice chat. So while I'm gaming with someone online, they can hear my voice and we can communicate with each other. On the Switch, I'll press B to go back a screen, and you'll notice we have other online benefits, like special offers, missions and rewards, and Save Data Cloud, which saves game data to a cloud. Very dependable. I'll press the home button to go back home. The next menu button is News, where you can get all of the latest Nintendo Switch news. You can see that there's a lot of content here. If I press the home button again, we will go back to the home menu. The next on-screen menu button is the Nintendo eShop. I'll tap my user and then enter my password. Then the shop will open. Here's where I can buy and download games. I can look at featured games. I can look at recent releases. I can look at great deals. I can look at bestsellers. I can even search and browse. I can search Mario, for example. And then under price range, I can select free, and then I'll get a list of games that I can download at no cost. I'll press the home button to go back home. Next, we have the album menu option. If I tap it twice, I can see all of the screenshots that I took while playing games, like the time I beat my wife in Mario Kart. By the way, to take a screenshot or screen grab while playing a game, simply press the capture button on the left Joy-Con. It's the square button under the directional buttons. I'll press the home button to go back home. The next on-screen menu option is controllers. let's double tap it. Here you can change grip order, find controllers, and pair new controllers. Let me show you something useful. Let's remove the left and right Joy-Cons from the sides of the console by pressing the release buttons on the back of each one and then sliding them up and off. Then I'll tap Change Grip Order. Then I'll press L and R on each Joy-Con at the same time, one controller at a time. This makes the two Joy-Cons individual controllers, great for two-player games. Now I'll place the Joy-Cons back on the sides of the console. Then I'll press the B button to go back home. Next, let's go into the system settings by double tapping it. Here we can turn on airplane mode if you want to use your Switch while on a flight. We can also adjust screen brightness here. Remember, the brighter the screen, the quicker the battery will drain. Then we have Bluetooth audio to pair to a Bluetooth audio device, like Bluetooth earphones. Then there's screen lock. When this is on, you have to press the same button 3 times to get into your Switch when it's sleeping. Good for not wanting to accidentally turn it on while you're not using it and wasting your battery. Then we have parental controls if you're a parent and your child is using the Switch. Good for restricting features. Next, we have Internet for viewing Internet settings. Then we have Data Management. This shows you how much memory you have left. You can also delete or archive games to free up space. Let me show you. I'll navigate to Manage Software, then press the A button. Then I'll navigate to a game or app that I want to delete, and then press the A button. Next, I'll navigate down to Delete Software. Then press the A button twice to delete the software. Don't worry, you can get it back by going back to the shop and downloading it again. I'll press the B button twice to go back a few screens. Then we can add users. We can also create or edit a Mii. A Mii is a customizable avatar used on the Nintendo Switch. Here's the Mii I created of myself. It needs some more work. I'll press the back button a few times to go back. Then we have Amiibo for editing and deleting data saved to Amiibo. Amiibos are toys or interactive figures and cards that work with your games. Tap one while playing, for example, and you may uncover new features, effects, or bonuses. Next, we have themes. We have basic white or basic black. Then we have notifications, which is pretty self-explanatory. Then we have sleep mode settings to turn your screen black and save power. We also have controllers and settings for modifying button mapping and turning controller vibration on and off, for example. Then we have TV settings. I like setting resolution to 1080p and RGB range to full range because these settings look great on my TV. You may want different settings depending on your equipment. Finally, we have system settings. Here we can do system updates. If I press the A button, you will see that our system is currently up to date. You can also update the dock, change your language, and change the date and time. There's also battery and sound settings. I like to set sound to stereo. There are a bunch of other settings that you may want to change. Finally, there's serial information, agreements and notices that you will probably never need, but at least you know where they are now. Let me press the B button a few times to go back home. The final on-screen menu option is Sleep Mode, where you can quickly put your Switch in sleep mode to save energy. I'll wake it up by pressing the home button, then by pressing the A button 3 times in a row. By the way, if I press and hold the home button for a few seconds, I'll bring up a quick menu that has settings for sleep mode, auto brightness, a screen brightness slider, a volume slider, and a setting for turning airplane mode on and off. It's quite handy. and quick to get to. Finally, to power off the Switch, I'll press and hold the power button for a few seconds. To completely power off the Switch, tap Power Options, then tap Turn Off. That's it. You are a Nintendo Switch master. Well, I hope that you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.